Hello, this is Becky Johnson, and I am going to help lead you through my hair's sticking up, through the God and Me program. God and Me program, red book. This is the class for first, second, and third graders. Cub Scouts can do it to earn the Religious Emblem Medal, complete the Religious Emblem program for the Protestant faiths. Also Sunday school students, any other scouting organization, Girl Scouts. My daughter did this program as well. So to introduce you to the program, let's get started. Anybody know this book, The Cat in the Hat? What's this book about? Have you all read it? About the cat that visits and causes a big mess, right? Anybody recognize this book? If you give a mouse a cookie. One thing leads to another. If you give a mouse a cookie, they need a glass of milk. What about this book? Diary of a Wimpy Kid. What's this about? About a middle schooler, kind of going through the year. I recently read it. I had not read it when my boys read it. I read it because my daughter read it. I was not a big fan. I didn't feel that he was a very good friend. But what about this book? A Bible. What is that book about? And I like this version. This is the version that I'll be reading from when we have to read a Bible verse. But there's many versions of the Bible. You pick one that is easy for you to read. And when I next talk to Pastor Rich, I'm going to get the name of the app that he uses. He highly recommends. You can be on a Bible verse, and if it doesn't make sense to you, you can simply change versions right there and find a version that then you can better understand. So, but I'll get the name of that app. And using an app is totally fine if you don't have a Bible in your house. That's fine. Okay, so the Bible, what's that a story about? The Bible is a storybook too. It is, I'm reading some notes here. It's the story about God, about Jesus, and how Jesus loves us. Then I also have a book like this. This is my pictures of our summer at the Grove. My husband's family has a cottage at Mansfield Grove. And so this book that I made up is filled with pictures of our time up at the Grove this summer. So it's about our summer. So then the next book I want to show you is your God and Family workbook. This will be a storybook too. And this story will tell about God, and it'll tell about you, and it'll talk about God and you together. But we call it God and Me together. And if you take the G of God and the A of and put the M-E at the end, you get the word game. As we work through this program, we will be making games up for each lesson to help remind you about what we learned that lesson. So it's a lot of fun. So this will be the story of God and Me together, and have games that punctuate each lesson. All right, so everybody should have their own workbook. It needs to be a blank workbook, so if a sibling did it in the past, you need a new workbook, because your pastor or Pastor Rich or whoever thinking beyond this year, if somebody else is using this video, whoever you are set up with to get signed off from. But if you're with Pack 54, Pastor Rich will do it. So we will meet with him, and he will review your workbooks and sign off on the work you've done. So you do need your own workbook. All right, so go ahead and put your name on the front of your book, and then we're going to turn to page 3, which is just opening up the cover. So you're just going to open up the front cover. You see it says table of contents, and you see page 3 is right here. Okay, so reading the top of the page, it says introduction, welcome to the God in Me program, and I do realize you're seeing all of that in reverse, so look at your own workbook, but I'm going to point at it so that you don't have to stare at my face the whole time. So look at the children in the picture below. We see a silhouette here with a couple of children next to the adult. There's definitely a taller person in this group. They are crowding around someone. So the smaller people in this picture are crowding around someone. They are excited and happy to be with this person. So now you're going to, with your adult partner, make up a story about this picture. Are the children with a grandparent or a favorite teacher? Are they at a picnic or playing a game? Tell your story to a friend. Just go ahead and make up that story with your adult partner right now. You can pause this video, and adult partner, you can just jot some notes around the outside of the picture if you want. You don't have to write the story word for word that your student tells you as you guys make up the story together, but maybe a couple key words, like if they're on a picnic, or if they are going to Disney World, or whatever this picture reminds them of and the story they make up to go with it. Maybe jot a couple key words to help, remind them that that's what the story is that they came up with when they go back to look at the workbook later, because this is a storybook about them and their relationship with God. So go ahead and pause and come up with that story and come back to me in a sec. Bye. All right, so now I'm going to turn in my favorite little children's Bible to Matthew 19, verse 13 through 15, and it says, can you see that? Even though it's backwards. Some people brought little children to Jesus. They wanted him to place his hands on the children and pray for them. But the disciples told the people to stop. Jesus said, "Let the children come to me. Don't keep them away. The kingdom of heaven belongs to the people like them." Jesus placed his hands on them, and then he went on from there. All right. So back to your workbook, it says, the Bible tells a story about children too. In Matthew 19, verse 13 through 15, which we just read, the children surround Jesus, and Jesus blesses them. Pretend that this picture above is a picture of Jesus surrounded by children. Now, you're going to draw yourself into that picture. Jesus loves children, and Jesus loves you. So go ahead, either in this space here or that space there, add a picture of yourself. Here's what my son did. He just kind of made a shadow to go in the picture with Jesus and the other children. But you can draw a stick figure, you can draw a real picture with eyes and details, you can color it with color pencils, or you can do a silhouette like the picture has there. So go ahead and pause and add yourself to that picture of the children with Jesus. All right. So the important thing about that is looking at your picture with you added in there is for you to remember that you are important to Jesus too. Jesus loves you too. All right, so this God and Me program will help you to become good friends with Jesus. Now, lower on page 3, it says fill in the blanks. Here are the words that you will need to fill in the blanks. The word God, the word me, and the word God and me. So let's read those statements. The first one says, this booklet is about. Don't use the last choice first. Choose one of the other words. Do you want to put the word God there? Or do you want to put the word me there? Either one is correct. So this booklet is about blank. Which word are you going to put there? And then the second line says, this booklet is also about. Are you going to put God there or me there? Whichever one you didn't use for the first line, go ahead and put on the second line. And finally, it says, this booklet will be my story about, and let's use our third choice there, God and me together. So your page might look like this. This booklet is about God. This booklet is also about me. This booklet is about my story about God and me together. Nice job. So the next part, it says game box. At the end of each lesson, we will add a game to remind us of that lesson. If you have a shoebox, you can start getting that ready to hold our lessons. But I also have shoe boxes. So if you're doing this class with me, I will have those if you don't have one. And we will start working on that with our next lesson. If you see the table of contents, section 1, lesson 1 is God created me. Lesson 2 is Jesus is God's gift to me. Lesson 3 is I can talk with God. And lesson 4 is because God cares for me, I can care for others. And that's the 4 additional lessons that we will be working on to complete the God and Me program. For now, we have completed the introduction. If you have finished page 3. And you can, for homework, look for a shoebox. Otherwise, I do have some, and we will meet again. You can end this video now.